Welcome to the Cancer Support Suffolk podcast. Join me, Mark Murphy, and my brilliant guests as we talk about life before, during and after cancer. Hello, I'm Mark Murphy, the CEO of Cancer Support Suffolk, and welcome to our latest podcast, supported by the Suffolk Community Foundation and the Suffolk and North East Essex Integrated Care Board. Every month we'll be talking to people who've had a cancer diagnosis, and they'll be sharing their personal journeys with us. We'll also be talking to health professionals for all the latest news on the treatment of cancer. This month we're looking at what it's like to have a stoma bag fitted. With me are Elizabeth, who has a stoma, and also Ian from the East Suffolk Ostomy Support Group, who also has a stoma. Welcome to you both. Welcome to the podcast. Lovely to see you.
Thank you.
Elizabeth, can I begin with you? What was the scenario that led up to you having your stoma?
The scenario, long story short, unless you want the long story, but had very bad summer with lots of pooing, really quite unwell, back and forth to doctors. Eventually got a diagnosis of bowel cancer, but couldn't have an operation straight away. So the Michael Crabtree at Ipswich Hospital said he thought I should have a stoma made, fitted, whatever you want to say, 'cause it's actually part of your own body, to rest my bowel, basically, to see how we go for 4 or 5 months. So that's what happened to me. I woke up with a nice, not flat tummy, but, you know, a nicer tummy, woke up with a bag. But to be fair, the journey from there was quite intense because I then had to have quite a large operation. As you're aware, Mark, a posterior pelvic exoneration, where I haven't got a lot left down there. And that was through bowel cancer, but the cancer no longer there. And I live with my stoma bag, and I've never looked upon it with regret, with hatred. I used to worry a lot about people being able to see it when I've got my clothes on and things like that. I used to try and wear clothes, buy clothes that would cover it up. But then my partner, who's been an amazing person all the way through the whole journey of about 3.5, 4 years, said, well, when you walk into a room, do you look round and see, oh, has that person got a stoma bag? Has that person got a stoma bag? And I said, no. And then from that moment, I just stopped worrying and thought, if people see a shape of a bag, do you know what? It saved my life. So that's how it is.
And Ian, what about you? What was the scenario that led to yours?
It was 8 years ago, almost about 8 years ago this month, and I had no symptoms. I felt fine and I was fit for my age, and I had a normal 2-year poo test through the NHS. Can you just do a poo test? So I'd done a poo test and sent it away, and I came back to say, not to worry about it, but you've got a slight positive. Can you do a second one? So I did a second one, sent it away, and that came back negative. So then I went with my wife and family, went to Australia to see family over there. While we were in Australia, my daughter had got a letter from the NHS, which she opened and started to panic. But she didn't tell us. She said, well, can you come to the hospital quick? She said, well, Dad can't. She's in Australia. Well, as soon as he gets back, can you tell him to come up? So I got back, got the letter, went back there the Monday morning, and they said, the second one, the third one you did was obviously blood. We need to get looked at. He said, we'll give you a colostomy, and straight away within a few days. And I went on a 28-day passage from start to finish till I come home.
That's what I did, yeah.
And they found 2 tumours, both cancerous. Luckily, that hadn't gone through, broken through the wall, and they said, we're going to operate very quick and take them away, which they did. Woke up, and they said they joined the bowel together. Unfortunately, after 5 days, it didn't join up, although I must say the doctors and the surgeon told me there was no guarantee, so I accepted that. I deteriorated and taken to the hospital after 5 days overnight, had emergency operation, finished up with a Hartman's, which is the stomach all opened and taken away. Woke up in 2 days in intensive care, and then spent the next 2 weeks in hospital. Obviously woke up with a stoma bag. And that's where people like the surgeons, the girls Sharon and Sally, who were marvellous people, came and said and explained to me what it was. So I spent 19 days in hospital. I went home, had district nurses come in every day because I was cut about. Took me I lost 3.5 stone in those 19 days. Spent 5 months indoors until I got involved with NHS and One Life at the time, who said, we can get you on a retraining program, which was at the end of the hospital gymnasium. And I had a girl right up to COVID called Janine Potter, who was a marvellous girl who took me, and I got fit. It took me a year to get fit. And since then, I've never really looked back. I'm 77 in 2 or 3 weeks' time, and I'm 95% fit. But I've worked at it.
The other option, of course, we don't really want to talk about, do
No,
we? So,
no.
you know, you're both alive and well, fit and healthy, you know, and God willing will stay that way for a very, very long time. We talk about a stoma bag. People in the past have called them colostomy bags. What is the stoma bit?
The stoma is actually part of your intestine. If you think
so that's part of you?
Yeah, it's part of me.
Yep.
Yeah, if you think of an intestine, you've got all your intestines doing all their stuff. Opening is cut, and then part of the intestine is then sewn to your stomach, if you like. Yeah, and that's your bottom hole, basically. That's where your poo comes out. Yeah, and then you have to have something to collect it. So that's why it's called a stoma bag, inverted commas. I mean, lots of people have different types of bags. People have rings on them to make them seal. I think I was very fortunate. Sally and Sharon, who Ian mentioned, went through about 4 or 5 different bags. They came to my house before I had my first operation to show me what a bag looks like and stuff, and how it would be used, and left me some samples, and I just put them on and wore them. But I just think, well, it's just a way of life, you know. It's just so easy. I mean, as I said before we started recording, we go off to Gran Canaria for 3 months. We do lots of climbing up mountains, not literally climbing up mountains, but they're big hills. They're mountains to me. They're hills to Graham.
Well
done. But they're 10, 11-mile walks, you know, we do. And if I have a poo and I think, oh, too much in my bag, I can change my bag at the top of a mountain. You can't have a poo at the top of a mountain.
No, you can't. No.
You know,
I agree with you.
It's actually quite useful sometimes. You know,
so you've both adapted really well.
Yeah. Since I've had mine, I've been now to Australia, I think 2 or 3 times in the last 8 years to see family, because I've got family over there, and I haven't had a problem. I've had more problems sort of waiting at Stansted or London, but Dubai, I've been twice to Dubai, and I've used the disability toilets there, and they've been marvellous. And they've even, when they're checking the bag, they've always taken me somewhere to say, and been very, very good in some of the airports. There's more information out on there for disability, more for stomas,
Not all disabilities are visible, as we always say, you know. And I don't see it as a disability, actually. I don't know about you, Ian.
I've got a disability card, mainly for toilets.
Yeah,
because I use the disability toilets if I need to, but you get the radar key and you can use them.
I don't even do that, I'm afraid. I just go into a normal toilet.
I do most of the time.
I see myself as normal.
I just
poo in a bag.
Well, I see myself as normal, but a lot of my people don't.
Well, no, me neither. I'm sure people think I'm a bit screwy. I mean, I did the other day. I saw we've got a wall in our bathroom, and I keep wanting to get a picture up on there of some description. And you know all these things about superpowers. I saw something on a Stoma website, and it said, "My superpower is I poo in a bag. What do you do?" But Graham thought that was a bit too much to put up on the bathroom wall. But I thought it'd be good.
A lot of people listening, if they were told that they were going to have a stoma bag, would be absolutely mortified, would be, oh, no, I don't want one of those. I don't want one of those. The way you two are talking, it's very different. So the reality is very different. Obviously, it takes a bit of getting used to.
It does take getting used to, I think, don't you?
I would say, though, when you're told that, I mean, that initial being told you're going to have a stoma is frightening, no doubt about it.
Yes,
and you think,
absolutely.
how am I going to cope with this?
How am I going to do that?
How am I going to do that? That soon passes once you get good advice.
Absolutely
from
right.
Ipswich Hospital, very good. With Sharon, Sally, John LeVay Centre up there. And so I had all that help. Some people don't want the help.
No, that's
and
true.
some people
that's true.
Don't get the help.
No.
Mainly, I think COVID. Thankfully, I had mine before COVID.
I was just on the tip of COVID. About a month before COVID, we went into lockdown. I had mine done, but Sharon and Sally said, "We'll be on the end of the phone, whatever you want." Basically, you know. I think the thing I worried most about, the first sort of release of being out of the hospital bit, was, are all my supplies going to come? You know, how do I organise that? Then once you get in the swing of that, you don't want them going to come because you're going to order them. And the doctor's surgery or your GP surgery knows.
Yeah.
The other problem I had was when we first went to Gran Canaria for a long period of time, I want 4 months worth.
Yeah.
So I have to go around and organise all that. But once you've done all these, it's like life. Once you've done it once, you know.
Well, I had to do that
easy.
for Australia, of course.
Well,
half a suitcase full of
then,
goods,
you know,
which then, when I was in Dubai, they wanted to know what, and as soon as they knew, and I saw I got a stoma, they were absolutely fine.
I mean, I have a letter that Sally actually.
Yes, you can get a letter.
Wrote me a letter, and then with EasyJet you get medical assist.
Yeah.
And what Graham and I didn't realise was, all I'm doing is asking for a free suitcase for medical supplies, but you get on this whatever it's called when you go to the front of the queue, and I'm very embarrassed because you're going to the front of the queue because you're easy boarding stuff, you know. So it's a little bit of an advantage there, but nothing dramatic, you know. It's just about living life, really, Mark, at the end of the day. And
Ian, your support group that you are part of, what do people come to you for? Why do they come?
The support group has been going for over 25, 26 years, and I only joined it in the last sort of 6-7 years, and then about 3 years ago I became chairman of it. I mean, it's a social group. We've lost a lot of people on the way, not through COVID, funny enough, but we've lost people. People get older, so we've got a lot of long-term people there, and most people. We've had some new people come recently, and they just want to talk because the first one is the people come up and they said, I haven't really told my friends and I haven't told my children or my relations. She said, I need to come and talk to somebody who's in the same position as you. So we get a lot.
Surprises me if people don't. All my friends knew.
Yeah.
All my friends.
No, you're surprised that people don't. One lady there, she spent a year, she told her husband, never told her children until she came to us. And then she found that there's a lot of people in the same boat and, you know, it opened up. So normally if they come new, but then and if they turn up a week or 2, 3, 4 times, then they feel part of that group. And then we can talk about all these things.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking to you with things that you wouldn't talk about normal people, would you?
Yeah.
And certainly it's not a subject that I would really sort of go in involvement with my relations or my son and my daughter, my grandchildren. They know, but it's not something I'm going to sit down and bore them.
My grandchildren open the bottom drawers. I've got all my stuff in the bottom. And my youngest grandson, I happened to be walking past into him. What's all this in here? So that's where I poo. I poo in those.
Oh, yeah. End of conversation. The other thing, I suppose you'll agree, it is great to have. I've got a good wife. I've got 2 children. I've got grandchildren. Yes. That support is, 100%. Apart from the hospital, 100%. Then you realise that other people haven't got that support as well, especially in the group that we've come there. That's quite sad.
Perhaps I'll come along and bolster them up a bit.
Yeah.
Because for you, Elizabeth, you don't feel the need to join a group.
No, a lot of people don't.
I think because I've always been, I was brought up to be very independent and just to get on with stuff. I did have Graham sat and stood and whatever next to me all the way. So I was very, very fortunate there. And also I've got a can-do attitude. And all through my cancer, the whole thing, even on the day of my huge operation, I was can-do. I can do this. I'm going to do this. Because if you sit there, oh, woe is me, then you're going to feel like that, aren't you? It's going to make you feel like that. So I think if people do have to face something like having a stoma formed, well, actually, it's only a bit, it's no real great shakes in our lives, is it, Ian? I don't feel I'm any different. I
think, and explain to people, and they go, well, it hurt. And I said, well, look, you've got to realise there's no nerve endings in the bowel.
That's right, and it doesn't
which is a great advantage.
Yeah.
There's no nerve endings.
Oh, right. So you don't...
Every part of your body has got nerve endings. You can hit it, except for the bowel. So you can...
It's actually, if you think of your intestines, if it had nerve endings all through your intestines... then you would feel your food going through it, and if you've got a crunchy bit of cracker that you hadn't quite chewed properly, that'd scrape all the way through, but it doesn't because there's no nerve endings.
So once you realise there's no endings, then you can... I mean, you do have to watch food because sometimes you can get blockages, can't you?
Absolutely. I mean, I've definitely found out what I can and can't.
You can't eat corn on the cob, for instance.
No, I love it. Chocolate. I personally love chocolate, but I can't eat it.
No, I can. I eat sea salt chocolate. That's what I like.
Goodness, don't talk about it.
And the other thing, I don't take any medication either.
No, nothing.
Oh, good, you don't. Some
nothing.
people do take. They've got other
I have
things.
heard people take lipidamide, which is to slow you down, and what's the laxative? I can't remember what the laxative is. The opposite to that. And
no, I don't take medication. I take a statin, which I've taken for years, just to
which is a different thing.
Which is a different thing altogether. It's not a medication. The other thing I found, and Mr. Pitt said that in the early days. He said, Ian, you were fit before you came in. Bearing in mind I lost 3.5 stone. It took me a year. and I saw him regularly. He said, "You were fit before you come." He said, "There's no reason why you can't be fit again
That's
if
what I
you
was
try."
told.
That's why I went
what
to the
was
gym.
told, yeah.
And he said, "I'll tell you something." He said, "2 things." He said, "In moderation, won't do any harm." And I said, "What's that?" He said, "Real ale and red wine." So that's what I do now.
Well, I was told
Only to moderation.
I was told Prosecco, which I always drink,
Oh,
and
well,
sex is the 2 good things. So,
Absolutely.
do both of those as well.
Go for it. Does it? I'm going to ask you some fairly personal questions.
You can ask me
Okay.
for personal questions.
Does it feel uncomfortable when, or do you just get used to it? It ends up being part of your body.
Yeah, I think it ends up being part of your body, really.
Yes, I think if to be graphic, if you have a harder poo, then you can feel it sometimes, can't you? Do
Yeah.
you agree, Ian?
Yes, you do.
But generally, don't even notice.
But it can blow up with wind as well.
Yes,
You've
I
still got
know.
wind, and that's why I wear. I do retractable
Oh yeah, yeah.
thing, so you can open the bottom, empty what it can, and all the wind.
Which I don't. I use a clothes bag.
No, I don't
Right.
use a clothes
Yeah,
bag. You
yeah.
see, I use a.
Yeah,
use,
I can't be bothered with the. I do when I'm going to have a procedure, a colonoscopy. Then I will use a drainable bag. 'Cause you have
Drainable
to
bags.
take the old Plemvu, which we all dearly love,
that is terrible.
which is pretty
It's the stuff that clears you out, isn't it?
Yes, it
basically,
is,
and it's
yes.
horrid.
2 or 3 hours on the loo, isn't it?
Well, it's more. It's probably
it's
about
terrible.
5 or 6 hours.
Right.
It's horrid.
That is worse. Yeah.
And that is
The last one I had was got mango in it because
to try and
because that was
drink
so
it.
foul. They started to put some fruit
Oh.
juice in it.
Dread it. I haven't got to have another one until 2026. Yes.
But all these things
Mm.
are there to help you,
Yep.
to save your life.
Definitely.
So, a bit of discomfort
It's nothing.
through the process,
It's a
and
nothing.
now no discomfort, basically,
No.
or very little.
No.
It's well worth it then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think the discomfort is your own doing, and especially if I
it's
get
your
a bit.
mindset, isn't it?
Yeah, but also with food, when I think, "Oh, I fancy that, I'm going to eat that."
Yes, I agree with you.
And
Ian. Yeah.
No, curries don't affect me. You would think curries would.
Now,
but
this is an interesting thing. We were away at the weekend. We went to an Indian restaurant.
Mm.
We had a curry in an Indian restaurant, and it's actually affected me up to today.
Ah,
Now, when I make curry at home, and I'll make curry from
Yeah.
my own stuff, no effect. It's really weird. So it obviously shows you there's something in a
something in spices. There's something in spices that do it.
yeah. I mean, I'll do
Yeah.
all my curries at home. There's certain things I can't eat.
Nuts?
We can't. Not supposed to
Milk
have
and
nuts.
nuts,
At all.
no.
Can't ever have another peanut in my life, or a Brazil nut, which I used to love. Lots of green. I can't seem to eat anything green. Broccoli, cabbage.
I do. The only things I can't eat on the fruit is apple skins.
Yeah, I peel
Or-
apples.
Yeah, you got to peel them. Oranges, because they're very fibrous, which
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah. No, I eat
so
baby little tangerines.
you learn what to
You do learn very much what you
what's
can
the
and
best
can't.
to eat.
I assume you're given this kind of advice, are you, by the health
You're
professionals?
given a diet sheet, one of those old diet
I,
sheets.
Or is it a bit kind of, suck it and see?
Suck it and see, I would say, really. I
I
mean,
think-
there's a limit to people like Sharon and Shally. They will refer you, if you want, at the hospital to the nutrition people.
Yeah, they will.
But then you go to nutrition people. I have been on 1 or 2 occasions, nutrition people, but they're concerned with the whole range of things, not just bowel cancer. So they probably
That's right.
they're
That's
probably
very
they're
true.
expert perhaps in loads of things, but not necessarily in the bowel cancer thing, because it's
I
only
would-
one of
yeah.
100
There are many
cancers.
other reasons
Yeah.
for having.
I would say,
stoma, yeah.
I eat everything white. I eat white bread, which Graham makes. Which we've always made bread, but we now have to do a brown and a white loaf. I eat white pasta. I make my own pasta. I eat white everything, whereas I used to eat brown everything because too much fibre then starts to blocking. I've never touched wood, had a blockage, and I don't think I want to have one.
I've hardly ever had a blockage.
No.
I've had the odd 1 or 2 which has been a bit painful, but
Yeah.
then I think what I've eaten to do it. But so you stay away from that.
Diet Coke is the thing if you've got a blockage.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, yeah,
okay.
Diet Coke because it's fizzy and it's caffeine in it.
Yeah.
Again, I drink decaffeinated coffee.
I don't drink normal coffee.
Do
Yeah.
Do try.
Everybody's different, aren't they?
Everybody's
right.
different.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
same, well, you just mentioned earlier on about this up here, and
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
one of the most important things, having your own mindset,
Yeah, definitely.
but having your own will to do these things. I mean, like you went there, I've been to Australia twice, and I was there late last year. And we went to the outback for 5 days in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, but it's great because you haven't got to pay
I haven't,
anywhere.
no. My wife
You haven't got
suffered.
to worry about it.
Because we got a nephew that lives in the middle of nowhere in Australia. We drove 2,000 miles down there to see him. 1,500 miles down there, 1,004 of us drive.
You're both globetrotters, which is fantastic,
Yeah.
which is great. And, you both are really grabbing at life, aren't you? Because you've both had a really scary experience.
Yeah.
So you make the most of.
And having a bag is nothing really, Mark, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's an absolute nothing. Yeah.
What about, you said you go to Gran Canaria. What about if you're by the pool or something like that, or you want to go swimming or...
I can do all those things. I don't worry about, I used to worry about, as I said earlier, about the people being able to see, but I just think, well, I don't wear a bikini because I don't have a body for a bikini. So I always wear one suit. But I think, well, I'll just get in the water and do what I want, or lay by the pool, or go down to the beach, do what I want.
What you're both saying and doing is you are, normalising this.
Yeah.
And the more we can... It's like talking about cancer. 1 in 2 of us will get cancer. We need to be talking about it. It's all around. It needs to be part of our everyday conversation. This is part of a treatment. Yeah, you're just normalising it. It's just part and parcel of your everyday lives now.
And it is, yeah, it's normal, I think, don't you think? I mean, I did say to the ladies at the hospital if they wanted me or to go and talk to people who are just about to have a stoma, I'm happy to do that. They've never contacted me.
No, well, I'm happy to do that, and that's why the Ostomy group has been reasonably successful. That eased off during COVID, of course, but they started to come back. We're regularly getting them 17 to 20 people on most visits. I do get speakers come in.
Right.
And we do have a quiz. And the other thing we play, which is very funny, we've now got a poo bingo.
Perfect.
Have you heard of poo bingo?
How does poo bingo work?
The same as bingo. You've got a lot of cards which have got animals in their poo, and then you've got this causes no end of laugh.
Excellent.
Because I always believe in cancer, cake, coffee, comedy, compassion, confidentiality. You can go through all the C's, as many C's as you like.
Well, look, we all go, don't we, in one form or another. We all have to go. And Dame Deborah was just amazing at, dancing around, check your poo, all this kind of stuff. And again, normalising what she was going through, because so many other people will be on that path or have been on that path.
And I think that's a credit to her and her family. We are everyday people. We're no one different. We are everyday people. I have embarrassment sometimes because I invigilate at high school, as you know, and sometimes I fart and I'm walking up and down and don't do that. Just because it's uncontrollable, isn't it?
Yes,
and because it's in a bag, it resounds a bit, and I think, and I just walk along smiling, thinking, whoops.
You just have to understand you've got no control over it.
No.
Your body can't control what you've got there.
Yeah, once you get used to that, that's something else.
You talked before we started recording about sometimes still feeling the need to go in the traditional way.
I don't anymore because I've had a Barbie bum, so I've had everything.
What's a Barbie bum?
When my anus, because I had anal cancer, so my anus was taken out and then my backside is sewn up, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I did have the experience initially for about 6 months when I didn't have that. And it's horrible. It's a really weird sensation, isn't it? Because you think everything's going to come out into your bag, don't you? And, I need a poo. So I went upstairs and it was quite frightening because this horrible thing came out and I rang Sally the next day.
That's normal.
Yeah, but you're not told that's normal, unfortunately, are you? And I rang Sally the next day.
Yeah.
I've had this really weird thing come out of my bottom. Oh, don't worry about that. It's all quite normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank goodness for that.
It's like putty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. It is
No,
really
I was
weird.
told about that, so
but
I knew
it's
it.
stored. It's old poo that's basically stored.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because your stoma is taken across your stomach because your bowel is taken in a different direction, it just stores it in the anal canal and eventually comes out.
So that eventually will clear away.
It can last for a long time. I mean, I've only had, I think, 2 issues on that this year, which is very minor, because your nerve endings and your brain still thinks there's something there, basically. And of course, whatever chemical reaction there is, that does happen. So, and I know when it's coming, you just have this pain where it's quite intense pain, but I can get rid of it in doing the things they do by pretending.
Sitting on the toilet.
Sitting on the toilet. That normally go within 30, 40, 50 seconds.
Right.
And then you're back to normal. Occasionally, then you will get that mucus. It's done a lot when I first had it, but it's eased off now.
What would you say, Ian, to someone who is facing having this or has just had it? What would you say to them?
It's very difficult because they've got to do it for themselves in a way. It's very, very easy to say, you've got to do this and do that. I think someone's got to be there to support them and guide them through. And if they want to talk once a week or the experience to do that, come to a meeting, come in here, go to the John LeVay Centre, talk to somebody. And there's a lot of people I don't think talk.
What about you, Elizabeth? What would you say to someone?
Don't be frightened. There is life on the other side. You might think that this is one of the most daunting prospects in your life. But actually, once you've done it for a year, you get over it and get on with it. That sounds really quite hard, but I think you have to look at yourself as being nothing special. And this has saved your life, or part of the passage to save your life. And if you have to do that for the rest, I was told mine might be temporary, but I always knew in my mind it wasn't going to be temporary. I started off with a loop colostomy, which it can be reversed because there's an extra bit of the intestine is looped,
yeah.
So that if you have to have it put back together again, And then when I had my big operation, I had an end colostomy, but it's not a problem, which means it's just a straight piece of pipe rather than a loop. So I didn't ever have a situation like you had where yours didn't go back together initially. But
so some can have it reversed.
Yes,
a lot.
Yes,
yeah. If they take the tubes out or whatever, so
yeah.
Obviously the other one is Crohn's disease.
Yes,
that's
right.
not cancer, but it's
but it does. But a lot of people with Crohn's disease have bags, don't they?
Bags, yeah.
Because it's such a debilitating disease, and you just spend your life on the loo, basically. So to have a bag where you haven't got to spend your life on the loo must be life changing, for them in more ways than one. Yeah. So it's a good thing for them.
We had a lady come up to our ostomy group, 2 months ago, and she just had Crohn's, and she had recently, I think this Christmas, earlier this year, she had that done. She joined the group, and she said she was 25 years. She said, I've never felt so good as my life since I've had a stoma now, and I've taken all, that's Crohn's, that was.
Yeah.
She said, I've got a new lease of life.
And that's what happens to people with Crohn's disease. It must be amazing.
That's a different thing. I'm not an expert on Crohn's, but
must be amazing for them, really.
Well, you're both fantastic for talking so openly about this. Not everybody would want to talk about it, and we respect that, but talking about it and letting people know all about it will help tremendously should anybody be in that situation. When does the support group meet, Ian?
The support group, we meet at Nottcutts on the second Tuesday of every month at the cafe, which they've got a community room, which we've got access to once a month up there. Anyone with got a stoma or had Crohn's or whatever can come and have a afternoon.
Is that in the afternoon? Or?
Afternoon, yeah, sort of from 2 o'clock till 4:30. And so we have a guest speaker come in. I had Alan Stafford come in last week. He's a scriptwriter.
He is a comedy scriptwriter.
His second time he's been with us, yeah. So he was there last week. Unfortunately, I wasn't there, but I got a note to say that he went down very well and sold a few of his books.
Brilliant. He'll be happy with that.
Yeah. He's a lovely bloke. I know him quite well.
Fantastic. Well, look, thank you both very much for taking the time out to talk to us on the podcast. If you've been listening right the way through, you may well have heard the church bells of St Margaret's Church being practised in the background as we record this on a Tuesday evening. And it's nice to be serenaded by the bells, actually, in the middle of all of this and the odd car going past. But in our central Ipswich hub is where we've been recording this. Elizabeth, thank you very much. You can find out more about Elizabeth by going to the Cancer Support Suffolk website. There's a film on there that you recorded for us with more about your journey. So thank you very much.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to make it more normal, I think, Mark, because it's not abnormal, it is normal. Yeah, it is normal for so many people now, isn't it, really? And Ian, thank you very much. Good luck with the support group. Yeah. And thank you both very much for joining us on the podcast this month. That's our special guests, Ian and Elizabeth. Thank you for listening to this episode. If you'd like more information about what we do, then go to cancersupportsuffolk.co.uk, or you can call us on 01473 211 884. As I said, we're based in central Ipswich in Suffolk. Cancer Support Suffolk is passionate about educating and supporting the people of Suffolk, and as a registered charity, we rely on donations and fundraising to be able to continue our vital work in the community. This podcast is the copyright of Cancer Support Suffolk and is produced and managed by podtalk.co.uk, supported by the Suffolk Community Foundation and the Suffolk and North East Essex Integrated Care Board. Until next month, from all of us at Cancer Support Suffolk, goodbye.